Well, I call it the 1 second rule. The 1 second rule is, I'll give you a good example. Most of the guys who quit Navy SEAL training, they quit in Hell Week. And they'll quit within the first day of Hell Week. The first day. And all Hell Week is basically a typical day of Navy SEAL training. These guys do fine going through Navy SEAL training, but when it comes to Hell Week, they spaz out. They spaz out because they're not going to get any sleep, and they're not going home to a nice warm bed at nighttime. So they're going to have you for 1 week where they're going to kick the crap out of you. So that 1 second decision is this. We get in a situation that our mind is not able to break down into small pieces. When you're going through normal Navy SEAL day, your mind says, oh, not a big deal. I'm going to go home, get in a nice warm bed, maybe see my girlfriend, go to a movie. The day is going to end. Your mind can comprehend that. It can comprehend the fact that today is going to end and I have something to look forward to. What Navy SEAL Hell Week is you have nothing to look forward to for a long time. You're suffering and you're suffering and you're suffering and you're suffering even more. And it's only 48 hours. And then you're going to suffer for another 100 hours after that. So your mind is already in this spastic mode. The spastic mode is, I have to get the hell out of here. It's your fight or flight, and usually it's flight. So to answer your question, the 1 second decision is, what gets most of us is they get in this situation where, like in Hell Week, they put you out in that cold water for the first hour of 130 hours. These guys are the coldest they've ever been, and their mind is thinking, I have to be this cold for another 129 hours. They can't break that down. They're not going home. They're not going to warm up. It's not going to end for a long time. So the first step of trying to find more of that 40% to try to get to that 100% is you have to be in control of that very thought process. That thought process is, how can I stay here just a little bit longer? Because you're never going to get to 100% if you're constantly ringing that mental bell of get the hell out of here. You have to be able to stay in the fight longer. So how you do that is control that 1 second. And how we do that is we have to control our minds. Get control back. When our mind's starting to spaz out, find a way to not think about 130 hours or whatever your task may be. Like I've run 205 miles at one time in 39 hours. Can you imagine if I were to think about 205 miles at mile 1? Your brain would say, this is stupid. What are you doing? This is crazy. Even at mile 50, if I thought about it. So you have to be able to live in that moment. You cannot allow your mind to get away from you. You can't allow it to start thinking about the pain, the suffering. Worry about that. It is coming. Whether it be mental or physical pain. This isn't just about working. I'm not saying run 205 miles. I'm not saying go through Hell Week. I'm not saying be a SEAL. I am saying be your best. If your best is our computer person, whatever it is, be your best means you have to be in that moment. Don't allow your mind to start going away from that moment. Because when it does, your mind is the most powerful thing that we have. It will win. It will get away from you. It will trick you into thinking you're not good enough. You shouldn't be here. This is too long of a journey. Blah, blah, blah. But if you can stay in the moment, control your thought process, control what you're saying to yourself, you can slowly inch forward. And that's just the first tool of many in the 40% rule.
The high performance people, the kids that are on the Hall of Fame, my Hall of Fame, have 4 or 5 characteristics. I'm going to name just 2 or 3 of them. Number 1, they give up social media, unless they're selling on it. Number 2, they work at a standing desk. Everybody understand a standing desk? Standing desk. Number 3, They have a treadmill under the desk, and it goes at 4 kilometers an hour. 4 kilometers seems to be the maximum where you can still work and do a standing desk. Number 4, they work out 3 to 5 times a week between 30 and 60 minutes a day. Not for 6 packs, not for 4 or 7 or 8% body fat, but just to be generally fit. And last but not least, they eat healthy. That means different things to different people. Doesn't mean vegan, doesn't mean vegetarian. Some just eat meat. But 90% of all my high-performance kids do all those things I just mentioned. And the last thing, or the sixth thing, is they make all their employees, their family, their wife, their kids, their parents, accountable. Mom, is this an important call? I'll talk to you over the weekend. Thanks, Mom. Click. Dad, are you in the hospital with a heart attack? Not? Okay, I'll call you over the weekend. Click. Our children have to call with one of my 4 assistants to make an appointment with me to get me on the phone.
Guys like us, we live in the moment. I can't fix what you did wrong before you got here. If I get down in the hole with you, the hole of desperation that most of you live in, I can't help you. I can only, from the time you got here forward, I can change some of your belief systems. If you're 30 years old, you've been around about 250,000 hours. This week can change those 250,000 hours if you immerse yourself. Now, you've heard the guys and the gals so far say they immerse themselves. They use different words. The French girl said it a little differently. But it has to be an obsession. You have to be, I already said this, you have to be like a born-again Christian. You got to be totally. And for those 2 or 3 of you that got some money, that's very hard to do because you're already happy. You're already in your comfort zone. And you've been in your comfort zone a long time. You want to make more money as long as I don't have to take any risk. That's basically it. For those of you who got a few bob. And the system will work. It's not going to work in, like Josh did, but it'll work. Most of you need improvisation. You should go take free classes in acting at a junior college or a college. Second, join Rotary. And I tell everybody this, Rotary, and you want to be on 1 or 2 committees. You want to be on the finance committee and you want to be on the membership committee. Why? Because if anybody's worth coming through the front door, you're going to see them. And you're going to also see how much money they're worth. Some guys look better than they really are. Rotary, okay? And Toastmasters, you want to not just sit, because there's 2 or 3 classifications of Toastmaster. You want the one that participates, where they say, this is a gold bar, sell it to me. That part, not the one that just sit back there and review everything. Toastmasters, because your communication skills, they're not for what you're doing now. But you don't get to be a billionaire if you can't talk. Remember, leadership is me getting you to do what I want you to do when I want you to do it. And now the good news is 98% of the high performance people on the planet are all introverts. You got a chance. Only 2% of us are extroverts. And only 10% of that 2% are alpha males, like me. If your communication skills get 5% as good as mine, it's an instant billionaire. 5% as good as mine, it's instant billionaire. Just like 2,000, 5%, you're an instant billionaire. Right now, there's nobody that has a 0.5% as good as my communication skills. Napoleon Hill, he didn't say, just do it. He said, action is the real measure of intelligence. So what's the corollary to that? Corollary is a big word, I understand. What's the opposite of that? Inaction is for meatheads. And why do we not take action? Because we're afraid, we want to be liked. Almost everybody in this room is a pleaser. And if I call you a pleaser, that means you're spineless. You know you're pleasers. There's a method to our madness of the questions we ask you. What's the highest performance thing you've ever done in your life? What's the highest performance thing your partner or wife has done in their life? What's the highest performance thing that your kids have ever done in their life? And when it goes, and these aren't the exact words you use. Nothing, nothing, nothing. We got some guys that are pretenders, not pleasers, pretenders to be tough. It's all right if you down deep inside know you're not tough, just as long as you pretend to be tough. That's all it takes. That's why we send you to Toastmasters. That's why we send you to improv. And yet 98% of the high performance people are all introverts. But I mean, Warren and Bill and these guys are ruthless is not a word. Whatever transcends ruthless is the word to describe him. And Steve, God rest his soul, was unbelievable. He said, a bunch of us said, Dan, you could have been a trillionaire. Forget the IT. You could have been a trillionaire. But you're too easy on people. If I'm too easy, what are you? I could eat this whole room alive. If I'm easy, if I'm soft, what are you? And that's what they say privately, off camera.